The following is a special presentation of Extreme E-Speed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and E-Speed.
Welcome, race fans. It's Thursday Night Thunder here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Got Andy and John subbing in for Marty tonight. We're the Bleacher Bums. We're normally here on Tuesday nights. We're going to be here tonight bringing you all the action in this first round of... Are these big blocks? These are big blocks,
no,
right?
these are the small blocks.
Small blocks, all right. So these are the small block modifieds, and we're going to be here at Fairbury Speedway, it looks like.
Yeah, located in Central Illinois. This is a great little track, home to the Prairie Dirt Classic and a few other big races. And tonight we're going to get the ground-pounding modifieds out here. A nice little bull ring. I tell you, it's got to challenge drivers. You're going to have to see some guys running the bottom. You're going to see some guys running the top. Both lanes are treacherous and easy to make mistakes that can cost you on either lane.
All right, we're jumping right into qualifying, John. And it looks like tonight's action is brought to us by Magnum Racing Designs. They sponsor the Thursday Night Thunder small block modified portion. And we got a couple guys pulling out there. Looks like Joe Canales pulling out. Going to get a lap in. What's he got on there? We let the dogs out. Pet Care Service. Oh, I like that. Nice sponsor with a paw print.
It's a sharp car there, too, that Joe's got.
You know, I drove over here this afternoon from Peevely. We were out at I-55 on Tuesday night, and I stayed over there for the night instead of driving back to Woodstock, Georgia. Kind of a nice ride from Missouri over here to Illinois, John.
Yeah. More fun hanging out in St. Louis than driving up the day of. But, yeah, it's just a straight drive up right through central Illinois there. And It's once you get here, though, it's like I said, it's a unique track. It's a unique layout, the whole 9 yards. But the racing on this track is just phenomenal. I mean, and it doesn't have to be late models or big blocks. You come out here and watch a street stock race, UMP modified race. It really doesn't matter what they put on the track here. It always puts on a good show. So if you're anywhere in the Midwest and you want just a kind of destination race, yeah, the Prairie Dirt Classic's probably the one to go. You'll get all the big names, but just if you wanted a weekend getaway kind of deal to go watch a race, this is not a bad track to go. You will see some really, really good racing just even on their weekly program here.
Yeah, there seems like, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, there was a great race between Bobby Pierce and Brandon Shepard. And they were,
yep.
Old Pierce was just ripping the right rear quarter off from his car lap after lap after lap. And man, that was a great race.
Yeah, I think that was a Summer National race last year. So, yeah, like I said, it's just a great little track here. But we do have the 358 modifieds on this little track here right now. And Brandon Templeton has set quick time right now with a 12:56, followed by Isaac Salas with a 12:65. Then Butch Baker, 12:67. Randy Shreves is fourth right now at a 12:70. And Brian Lawson there's at a 12:72. But second through fifth is really tight. Brandon Templeton seems to be in his own zip code right now. A tenth of a second on this small track is a big difference. So I'll be interested to watch Brandon, see if he can capitalize on all that speed here tonight. As I continue to look down through the lineup, though, I mean, there's some guys further down. Zach Chapman, a little bit further down. Jeff Barker, Nick Vickery. I see Dean Reynolds down. So it'll be interesting to see that we're gonna have guys sprinkled all through the field here that can get the job done.
Yeah,
but I see Heat 1. Yeah, see Heat 1 lining up, Andy.
Yep, it sure is. And we got Nick Vickery starting on the pole with Dean Reynolds on his outside with Randy Shreves and Brandon Templeton, fast qualifier, starting fourth. Dan McLaren and Claude Fournier, that's the Canadian row. And then we got Chris Elvey starting seventh. I tell you what, this is a fun little heat race right here. We got four good runners up front.
Yeah, we do. And like I said, Templeton, we'll see. I know it doesn't sound a whole lot like a 10th, but on this track, a 10th is a pretty big deal. And, it's going to be interesting to see if he can capitalize on that. He's going to start in the second row. For those of you that aren't familiar, here at C2C, we invert the fast four. So your fastest guy in qualifying was Brandon Templeton. He's going to be starting fourth. But we also take the top four to transfer to the main show. Looks like everybody will make it here tonight. So everybody will get in, but that top four locks himself in early here as the Steve King pace car is off, and the guys are headed into three, getting ready to go green.
They'll fire off on the green, so it'll be up to Nick Vickery to set the pace. There's the green. You see him and Dean Reynolds both getting after it. Dean with a nice run on the outside. Let's see what he can do with Nick. Looks like that top side's the preferred line right now. Templeton's going to get by him also.
Yeah, that momentum, you can kind of bounce that right rear off the massive cushion that's up there. A lot of tack and just drive right around. But you see Nick now, he tucks up behind Brandon Templeton here as they kind of get into single file racing here, 1 through 5th. Looks like Dan McLaren's going for a pass on Randy Shreves between 3 and 4. Slides up in front of him. And you get the crossover by Shreves. He holds on to the spot for right now.
Oh, Templeton's going to dive it down around the tires and try to make a move on Reynolds. Oh, it may cost him a spot as Nick Vickery gets up around the high side. Nice move.
Yeah, I like that move. You got to really trust. You got to trust that guy on the inside to make a move like that. And,
I was just going to say that there's a good guy to do that on because Brandon Templeton has great car control
and awareness.
And he just held it right there. Of that.
Yeah, Brandon's definitely one of the handful of guys that has the whole package when he drives, and I don't think you're going to keep him down for long here, though.
No, he's battling back. We got 2 to go. 1 to go. White flag's out. Dean Reynolds doing a nice job just holding a steady line around the top. Templeton's going to try to make a run underneath him, coming off from 4. Can't get there. Dean Reynolds, Nick Vickery, Brandon Templeton, your top 3. Hey, one of the things here, John, that I've always thought is pretty peculiar is whenever you're here, and even with our broadcast, when you pull back from the track, the cameraman is on the backstretch. It's almost like that's the main grandstand, and the front stretch is the old covered fairgrounds grandstands.
Yeah, with the room where they do the tractor pulls between the track and the fan stand and the grandstand. So, having been there a few times, yeah, the back stretch is a little bit better of a seat in my opinion. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. There's one other track that's kind of like that, Brownstown Speedway over in Indiana. You sitting on the back stretch, I think is a little better than actually sitting along the front stretch there that I can think of, and I'm sure there's a handful of others around the track, but or around the country. But yeah, you're
like
right.
These old fairground tracks, used to have the big old horse tracks.
Yep.
So, you got at Brownstown, there's a half-mile straightaway between the straightaway and the grandstands. Hey, we're going to jump into heat number 2 here. Jeff Barker on the pole with Mike Schultz. They're going to fire him off. We got Brian Lawson, Isaac Salas, G.J. Boydell, Joe Canellis, and Charlie Weaver.
Green.
And the green is out. And they fire off down into turn 1. Jeffrey Barker's trying to hold that middle line.
Yeah, the bottom's just not quite there yet, but it's getting closer and closer every time a heat race goes by. So it'll be there. Guys are just going to have to keep working it in and trying it, but it'll even out. But look at this. Isaac Salas goes for the slide job to take over the top spot.
Oh, we got Mike Schultz and Brian Lawson get together, but they fight through it. Lawson, I was going to say he's still wrecking, but nope, he's okay. Jeffrey Barker finally gets it pulled up in front of Lawson. And while this is all going on, Isaac Salas, who made a nice power move around the bottom, is kind of starting to pull away, John.
Yeah, he is. It was helped, though, by that little kerfuffle there for, the second, third, fourth, got a little bit of a distance there. But Schultz looks like he's now really established second place and is kind of running down Salas a little bit. But part of that could also be that, that top is really treacherous. You're talking a foot one, you put a foot wrong, get it wrong by a foot as you go into the corner, you can end up in the wall. Right there as you see Salas get it, he could be just kind of taking it more easy and allowing maybe just the 16 there to close up just a little bit on him just by being conservative. Isaac Salas holds on there. Mike Schultz second, Jeff Barker third, and Brian Lawson going to take the final transfer position there.
All right. Small block modified heat race number 3. Bob DeGood on the pole with Ryan Lefebvre out of, we got some Michigan guys in this one. Ryan Lefebvre, Blake Chapman and Butch Baker, another Michigan driver. Zach Chapman and Alex Pomerleau, and then Nathan Aldrich in the rear. Well, you know what? I'm going to pick Butch Baker. I'm going with the Michigan driver.
Yeah, both of us are from Michigan, so that's probably a good pick there. I'm going to go with Blake Chapman. The kid just seems to be quicking about anything that we get into, and I'm going to say that he might be the first one to maybe get that inside going maybe a little bit. I tell you, we got some fast guys littered all the way through here. Pomerleau and Zach Chapman in the third row. That's a little bit back for those two guys. So this is going to be pretty competitive heat here.
I think so. Our Stephen King Foundation pace car pulls it down off the back stretch. These initial starts are off the green. The drivers have to wait until the green flies.
Green.
Oh my guy! My guy's in the wall. Come on!
Commentator's curse strikes again there, but I tell you, Blake Chapman is trying to get that bottom line. He's considerably a little bit lower than everybody else. He moves up a little bit there in 1 and 2. And look at that third row coming up. Pomalu is already challenging for third and has got a motor right around Zach Chapman there on the bottom or Blake Chapman has got to take Zach Chapman with him.
Yep, and here comes Butch Baker. He's going to try and get up around him. Yeah,
that bottom.
That didn't work for Blake very well.
I'll have to take mental notes of that. I'll be on the track a little later. I think you will be too in the late model, but I'll come back out here in the big blocks here in a little bit. And yeah, I have to take a note of that bottom just not working yet.
Give Blake credit. He's still down there trying it, but he showed good patience by not stuffing it up in there, trying to get back in line.
Yeah, in a night like this where everybody's got to make their show, you can afford that little bit of patience there. But, if that was for a transfer position and we had 35 cars show up, I'm going to bet that might have gone a little different.
Yeah, he might have found that 3-foot opening that he needed.
Yep, or at least made it. Made it fit.
White flag's out. Lefebvre is pulling away. DeGood still hanging on to second. Nice run for Bob. Zach Chapman's going to try it around the bottom, see what he can do. It's just not there yet. Just not there. We got Lefebvre, DeGood, Pomerleau, and Chapman in our top 4.
And just like that, we're going to go right into our consies.
I tell you, these shows are quick. You want to do a lineup for this one, John?
Sure. Here we go for the B feature. We're going to have Dan McLaren starting on the pole. To his outside is going to be Greg Boydell. Second row is going to be Butch Baker and Claude Fournier. In the third row will be Charlie Weaver and Blake Chapman. Fourth row is going to be Chris Elvey and Joe Canellis. And Nate Aldridge is going to be bringing up the rear.
All right, you pick first.
Me? I'm going to go with McLaren right there on the pole. Take the low-hanging fruit. I think the pole has won, all the races here so far. They get a nice jump and able to pull up. And so, who's yours?
I'm going to go with Butch Baker.
All right. I'll tell you what else I'm going to be looking for is to see if anybody can get that bottom, to get to roll that bottom and make that bottom competitive yet. That's what I'm really interested to see if it will happen.
All right, pace car's in. Boydell and McLaren are going to fire them off. Nice start, down into 1. Butch Baker gets to the top. Nice move in third. Boydell up into the fence. Fournier gets back around and dives down. We got guys trying to make that bottom work.
Including our leader.
It's going to cost Fournier. Boydell is coming around the outside with Baker. Oh!
Wow.
Fournier got into the leader, McLaren. No yellow in this.
And that steam coming out of the motor is not the engine. Out of McLaren's car. Sometimes it's you can misjudge things there, and that definitely was a little bit of a misjudgment, I think. But they carry on here, and good news is they're both going to get to race here a little bit later on. But I tell you, the real beneficiary of that is going to be Greg Boydell. He's got the pole. He's on point here with Charlie Baker right behind him. Blake Chapman has moved up to third, and they're going to be coming up on Dan McLaren. And I think Dan McLaren's got some damage. I've been watching him try the circle, and that car just doesn't look like it's handling right now. So maybe he'll get down and out of the way once the leaders get to him, if they get to him anyway.
Oh, I see what Boydell's cutting down in and doing a little slider move into 1. That cost him. We'll see what he does again. Now this time he stayed up high.
White flag out.
Yep, Boydell, Baker, Chapman, and Weaver, your top 4. Oh, Chapman got down, left a little opening. Wasn't enough for Weaver to get in there. It's going to be Boydell, Baker, Chapman, Aldrich. Chapman, Weaver, Aldrich, and Canales, your top 6. They'll be transferring into the A main. And we're going to have a 3-minute warm-up here. We're going to take a quick break, pay a few bills, and we will be right back in about... You know what? I'm going to leave the warm-ups up so the fans can watch that if they want. We're going to take a quick break, run down and get something to wash this hamburger down our throat.
Yeah. He's got to protest that because we do the feature only. The only time, and we want our admins to do it, even though nobody does it. But if like if I'm in a room or Roger's in a room, and like what we saw with Nate hitting you, that'll be. Well, speaking of which, I didn't read the penalty report. He did John did include him to be parked for tonight, didn't he? Did you see it? I didn't read it either. I'm hoping he didn't forget. If not, we'll park him next week.
Hey.
Hello? Dude, hey. We're broadcasting.
Yeah, you're hot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Andy, you got the mics hot.
All right, we're back here on Thursday Night Thunder. Got about a minute to go here in practice. What do you think, John? They're getting a track ran in. It's getting pretty black up around the top.
Yeah, I'm actually out on the track ghosting a little bit here, and I think you're gonna see some multi-groove here. The one thing is about these cars that I think is going to be a little different when we get to the big blocks. The big blocks got more torque. And on the bottom, I don't know that these cars, you're really going to have to hit your marks to keep your momentum up, because this car doesn't have the torque to just drive them up out of the corner to match somebody that might have that momentum coming off the high side. So that'll be something that we need to watch here for the first few laps to see how many guys go down there and choose that line, or if everybody goes up high and just tries to take their chances up top. And that's treacherous up there, because I'm having to really work to keep her out of the wall.
Yeah, I think they'll start, well, you can see when they're hot lapping there, they're starting to run that bottom in, and it seems to be coming around pretty good. All right, feature lineup. We got Dean Reynolds on the pole, with Isaac Salas on his outside, with Ron LaFave and Nick Vickery in row 2. Mike Schultz and Bob DeGood in row 3. Brandon Templeton and Jeffrey Barker in row 4. Alex Pomerleau and Randy Shreves in row 5, with Brian Lawson and Zach Chapman in row 6. And my grid is not moving, so I can read the rest of the lineup. Here we go. We got Boydell and Baker, Blake Chapman, Charlie Weaver, and we're going green. We're going to jump to the race. Dean Reynolds gets a good run off the bottom. He's going to lead that first lap. Isaac Salas is running the high side, but there you go, John. That bottom's coming in.
Yeah, Dean is hitting those marks, but you see Salas they're starting to get that momentum, getting it wound up on the top, and you see Salas and Vickery up there making a little ground up on the leader, but Dean Reynolds is really doing a nice job on the bottom, making that work right now.
Oh, and
we got a caution. Looks like Jeff Barker was involved coming out of turn 4 there. Yeah, it looks like Jeff may have had a little help there to go around there, but that's tight quarters here. Pretty easy to do if you misjudge. And looked like Jeff got into the wall right before he entered the corner, and it was just enough speed to get him scrub enough speed where Zach had, just got into the back of him there.
Okay, it looks like we're going to run another lap there. Hey, is Nick available down there? Can we holler at him and see what he thinks of the track?
I don't know if I go down and grab him. I'd have to bring him up a few, but we're getting ready to go green anyway.
Yep,
so
never mind. Yep, we're getting ready to go. All right, this will fire on Dean Barker's throttle pedal.
Green flag.
Nice
Green
jump
flag.
for Dean. Got a nice start down into 1. Isaac Salas is about middle of the track now trying it, with Nick Vickery all the way up on the top. Looks like the momentum is starting to bring him around.
Yellow flag is out.
we got a caution there in the back. It looks like Boydell and Fournier might have tangled up there a little bit. It looks like Fournier was just trying to work the bottom. Looks like he gassed it up and the car jumped on him and turned a couple of guys around there.
You know, that time it looked like Isaac was starting to get the momentum working for him.
Yeah, I mean, it always takes maybe about a full lap or maybe even two for some guys to get you know back into the rhythm once after a caution. And once you do that, you'll start to see that that top move.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Pace car's in the infield. Dean Reynolds with a nice start. He's going to get that 3-4 car length advantage. Isaac Salas jumps right to the top. Dean continues to hit his marks around the bottom. He's got Ryan Lefebvre following him around there.
Oh, a couple guys got in that wall there. It looked like Zach Chapman was the first to do it, and Butch Baker followed him right into it, and Zach gets into the wall
we got a
again.
big one down there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there they are. They jumped up into the wall. And then that wreck continued down at this end.
Oh, and the 13 came in hot into that corner, and Chris Alvey there and just got into McLaren a little bit.
All right, it's going to take him a little bit to sort this out. All right, pace car's in. Dean Barker's going to fire us, or Dean Reynolds is going to fire us off.
Green flag, green flag.
Single file restart. Salas was with him a little bit better that time. He's coming around the top. Reynolds continues to hold him off. Oh, and he jumps the berm in the infield. That's going to give Salas a good run on him. Looks like we're going to have a new leader this time by.
Yeah, Salas is doing a really good job up there, and it looks like Nick Vickery is going to move into second possibly.
Yeah, it looks like Lefebvre's kind of moving up top now too. He's seeing what's going on. Guys are driving around him. Dean Reynolds continues to hang on to the bottom, doing a good job down there, but it's starting to go away.
Yeah, he had an opportunity to move up, and he didn't, so he's pretty comfortable staying down there. Brandon Templeton's behind him and is also down there, as is Mike Schultz and Palmer. So, you know, I'm going to bet that we probably don't see as many cars up top, even though it looks faster, just because it is so treacherous, and it's really difficult to keep your car off the wall. And these modifieds, I'll tell you, once you get that front right tire into the wall, a lot of times you're just a passenger from that point on. It'll just drive right up the wall and you'll climb the wall.
Templeton's moved up now to battle with Reynolds. Let's move up front and see what we got. Salas and Vickery are starting to close up. Lap traffic's going to be coming into play. Looks like we got Dan McLaren's going to be the first one they come in contact with.
Yeah, but both the leaders are up high. McLaren's low, so McLaren should not be a factor here. You got to get about 3 or 4 cars up the line there. The first one that I see up top is Joe Canellis.
Nine to go. Isaac Salas doing a nice job running that skinny cushion up on the top with Nick Vickery right behind him, applying pressure. Nick's trying to make a move under him. He's about 3/4 of the way. Oh, and he got a nice run off 4.
Yeah, Salas got into the wall a little bit. They are side
by side.
Yeah,
coming up on lap traffic.
This is where traffic may play a part here with one guy low, one guy high. Nick with the
Nick
slide
slides up. Oh, and he's in the fence. He got through it, but he lost a couple spots. Looks like Lefebvre.
Yeah. I think he actually maintained the spot. Oh, Lefebvre is up on his side there. No, to his head. Turn 1. Now that's a lap car that got around Vickery, so this is a big break here for Nick. Oh, but his car is crabbing. Nick's car is damaged.
Yeah, Lefebvre's wreck took about a half a lap to happen.
Yeah, but Nick is in P2, but that car is significantly damaged. Yeah, that car is not pointed straight in any way. So Nick's going to be hanging on here a little bit. So we'll see if Templeton can get up there and move into second.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't.
Oh,
And
it's
after,
crabbing bad.
yeah, and Nick didn't get enough laps, and I don't think after that incident to get a feel for it. So he's going to have to send this down with 3 laps to go. Send it into turn 1, not having any idea
Not going
what
green.
that car is going to do. They pulled the one more, been extended for one more lap here of caution, but yet now Nick has to fire, throw her into turn 1, and figure it out on the fly. Man, I don't know who's no more nervous, Andy. Him knowing that probably he's got to feel that in the car, or Templeton behind him looking at that car travel the way it's traveling and thinking, oh my gosh, where's he going to go?
Here they go. They fire off. Oh, and there he goes right to the top. I don't know if he meant that or not.
Yeah, I think he meant it and gets a good run. It gets into the wall again.
He's running pretty darn good. 2 to go. White flag is out. Isaac Salas takes him down into 1. Nick Vickery's going to try to make a run down the backstretch to get into position. Isaac Salas goes down to the bottom to block a slider. Nice move. Nick Vickery hangs on to beat Brandon Templeton and Alex Palmer. Great finish. Great finish. I had no way did I think he was going to be able to do that. Did you, John?
No, I didn't. I thought he for sure was going to probably tap the wall, especially when I saw him make a dart up to that top of the track there. But Nick did a really good job there. Well done.
All right, quick rundown here while we're waiting for the guys to get up here for interviews. We got Isaac Salas, your winner tonight, with Nicholas Vickery, Brandon Templeton rounding out your top 3. Alex Pomerleau, Brian Lawson, and Dean Reynolds, top 6. Mike Schultz, Randy Shreves, and Blake Chapman finishing 9th. Bob DeGood with a top 10 finish. Nathan Aldrich and Charlie Weaver finishing 11 and 12. Butch Baker, Zach Chapman, and G.J. Boydell round out your top 15. And then Joe Canales, Chris Elvey, and Jeffrey Barker. Looks like I got a couple more finishers here. There we are. Dan McLaren, Ryan Lefebvre, and Claude Fournier rounding out your 21 starters tonight. There's Brandon, John.
Mr. Templeton, this is John Heine up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, John.
Man, that was a good run, and you were so close to getting that bottom to work. You were the first one to really, I think, made it work better than anybody else. Tell me what more you needed down there, maybe to get those final couple of spots.
Maybe a few more laps. That top was really going away, and it was getting tough to run. There at the end, I know I saw Vickery was kind of crab walking. His car was going sideways down the straightaway, so kudos to him for hanging on to it. I didn't think there was any chance that he'd be able to stay in front of me, but he held it off, and he almost picked off Salas, so good job.
Well, I mentioned that under that caution. I thought, man, I don't know who's more nervous, Vickery, who can probably feel that in his wheel, or you that can see it. What was going through your mind when you saw him crabbing like that?
Well, I was really just hoping that he didn't try to pull down low and get off the pace or something to let us by, because it was going to destroy me. My plan all along was just to try to go under him and keep it safe down there and hope that it worked out, but just came up a little bit short.
Well, hey, good run, good points night for you. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I got to thank Icon Sim Sports, for Rob for building all the rigs and cool stuff they're doing. Seeing some of those videos on Coast to Coast and the pit side, those things are sweet. So thanks to the Icon Dirt team. Those guys all support me. We support each other, and it's pretty cool camaraderie. Kale at Big C's Lawn Care, Extreme Images by Ashley, Maley's Makery, my wife and kids, Coast to Coast for doing all this, and Roger for all the work he does. You guys for the stream, Cool Ray, everybody watching at home, and my little daughter Hope for wishing me good luck before this.
Well, hey, once again, good run here. Congratulations. That is Brandon Templeton, our third place finisher in the 358 Modifieds. Nick Vickery, this is John. You have a copy? Hey, Nick, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, bud. Well, you finished second. Last caution, you kind of got in the wall and kind of did a little damage to your car. Could you feel that in your car, first of all, under caution? And what were you thinking there right before you went to the restart?
No, I felt like the whole race, I was definitely fast on the top. I was biding my time there in the beginning and just trying to stay clean and out of trouble. And, when me and Salas, the top, started coming in and we started to pull away a little bit, I felt like I stayed with him really good. And I felt like I could enter 1 and 2 a little bit faster. And then I tried to run the middle because obviously if he's running the top, I can't get around him on the top. And I led a couple laps there and then, threw a slider to actually, clear the spot and got into the outside wall and got lucky with a caution. But, yeah, under that caution, I've got the broadcast pulled up and I heard you guys talking about it. And, I knew that Salas was flirting with kind of going down to the bottom once I kind of pulled to his door. So I was kind of hoping he'd give me the top. And then once he did going into 1, I just sent it in and pray for the best. John, I'll run the high side even if my car's running backwards. I mean, that's where I enjoy to be. And, I felt like I was pretty good. I didn't really have a whole lot of contact with the outside wall except for that slider. So, even with my car crab walking, it maybe gave me a few more inches with the right rear being pushed to the left like that. So maybe it helped me a little bit.
Well, I tell you, good run here tonight, good points tonight, everything else. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just a little remark here. I got to go to the left side of my car to look at my sponsors because I can't see him on the right. But definitely got to shout out Spartan Racing. Dan McLaren was running tonight. He didn't quite have the night so far that he wanted. So hopefully here in the big blocks we can get something else going. But after that would be SBGC 3D printing. If anybody there has any 3D printing needs, definitely go check out Tom Taylor over on Facebook. VMR Wraps. If anybody there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR eWraps. Miriam Majado Spa, my wife, for letting me do this. Roger and Preston for keeping everything together. And then, of course, you guys are putting on a great show. And I don't know if Andy's in here, but might have to try to throw me a Cool Ray logo on there somewhere. We keep talking about it. I keep finishing on the podium, so maybe I need to do that.
Yeah, it's about a tenth and a half.
Hey, maybe that's what I needed to get around South tonight.
Well, congratulations again. That is Nicholas Vickery, our second place finisher.
Thanks, guys.
And now the big guy, the big winner tonight. We got Isaac Salas here, brings her home for a win. Isaac, walk me through that race and how'd you hold them off?
Man, well, let's just start with fantastic race by those guys. It was super clean all the way through, but I think the big thing was just kind of not trying to focus on Nick or on Brandon, just because I could tell that they were coming, I could hear that they were coming, and it was just like, well, let's bring it back, let's run our race, and if we get past, we get past. But luckily, I mean, we held them off for a while. There was a really good battle between Nick and I where we both dove it in the corner super deep, made it stick right beside each other, and it was a lot of fun. And hats off to them for both racing clean and having a blast, man.
Well, you guys put on one heck of a show there. When you get going, how early on in that race did you think, all right, I've got probably the car to beat here, or it felt like, okay, I'm going to be up here and contending for this?
I would want to say probably about that fourth restart, somewhere in there. I realized that I could keep up with Dean on the bottom, and I couldn't figure out the bottom, so I was like, well, I'll just throw it up top, somewhere I'm comfortable. And I really did get comfortable up top, and that's kind of when I got into that good groove. And I started just slowly ticking off the time away from Dean in the corners. I was like, oh, man, I might have a chance at this one.
Well, you did, in fact, have a chance. You brought her home in victory lane. Anybody you'd like to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, definitely. Coast to Coast, hats off. Those guys, this is one of the greatest leagues. Everybody's clean, fast, everything you can think about. They're just so good at what they do, and they have a lot of knowledge about the tracks and the cars and anything else like that. You guys put on one hell of a broadcast every single week. I love it. Makes me feel pretty special as a driver sometimes. So it makes it fun. The guys back at Venom, those guys support me even in the freaking middle of the race while they're doing their own race, like cheering me on, like go get them, brother, like everything else that you can think about. So it's just really good to have that supportive group behind you, and then just everyone that comes and watches, man.
Oh, hey, we enjoyed watching it. It was just as much fun calling it as you probably had driving it there. So, congratulations again. That's Isaac Salas, tonight's 358 modified winner.
Awesome, John. Great job. Nice interviews. What a nice bunch of guys. Good racing. I don't think anybody even touched on them first 3 cars the whole night. And they were battling fender to fender and putting on a great show. All right.
Yeah, they sure were.
John, they're going to kick us out of the booth. They don't normally let us in here, but they're going to kick us out. And I know that Marty and his team are coming in right behind us. We just want to thank everybody. Thank Roger, Preston, Marty, everybody that let us come over here on Thursday night and hang out with everybody. Great race we saw. I think the next 2 are going to be fun. I'm not going to run the big blocks, but I am going to run the pro late models. And I think John's going to run both. So good luck, buddy, and I'll see you in a couple hours.
Yep.
Good night, y'all.
race lead off turn 4, white flag in the air. Justin Hare's top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can he get the lead? Yes, he does. And now here comes Janzik. Janzik goes by Query, and he goes by Inman. Gonna drag race off of turn 4. Shepard is there, but it's Larry White at the line. It's still gonna be Pat Ward, and they make contact. Britton has broken the race car. Peter Britton comes to a stop in
in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
We welcome you back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network here at Fairbury Speedway. We have shifted over here to Slide Job Racing Network's coverage. I'm Ari Sacella alongside John Hine. The big blocks are ready to strike here at Fairbury Speedway. The big blocks are, as always, are brought to you by Land of Legends Raceway TV. The season kicks off April 23rd at Canandaigua Short Track. From the big blocks, the Dirt Car Sportsman, 305 Sprints, Street, and Hobby Stocks, all on Land of Legends TV. If you cannot make it to the races, 100% free. Just go to landoflegendsracewaytv.com for more information. So, John, let's focus here on the big blocks. Now, again, I wasn't here for the 358 race, but what did you take away from our small block event that you could use towards this one?
Well, from a fan standpoint, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm ready for another great race. Those guys put on a really nice show there in that last one. We saw a lot of different strategies, I guess I should say. Some guys with the bottom, some guys on the top. Lap traffic came into play a little bit there. It was a really exciting race. Now, from a driver's standpoint, the top side, if you can run it, looked very, very treacherous, but it was fast. And I expect maybe that might be the same, but I'll be interested to see with these big blocks. They have more power. They've got more torque. So that bottom, they're going to be able to drive it up off the corner from the bottom and get a little bit more of a, should I say, a push down that straightaway. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if that bottom is more viable in these cars.
Well, taking home the win in the 358 feature event was Isaac Salas. How do you think he'll do in the big block modifieds? Obviously, he comes in with a lot of confidence.
Oh, absolutely, and Isaac's quick in these cars, so the big Mo's behind him, and he's going to be one of the guys to beat, I think, before it's said and done here tonight.
Qualifying underway, brought to you by our friends at ABR Setup Shop, Alex Bergeron, the official qualifying partner of the Coast to Coast Racing League. The first guy you watch on track is Dean Reynolds in the 79, coming off of a 6th place finish. Brand new scheme for Dino with the big block. He sent it to me earlier today while I was at work, and I loved it. It's a sick looking scheme. So your drivers on the bottom that could be in quick time positions. Here you see Charles Weaver in the 27, who sets the bar with a 12.54. Isaac Salas looking pretty good across the line. He goes quick time at a 12.512. Zach Chapman takes it second quick at a 12.53 by 13 thousandths of a second. This is Blake Chapman in the number 20 as he comes off turn 4, working on his first lap. He'll clock in quick time at a 12.486 for Blake Chapman. Clock 48 Jr. in the 7.7. Takes it to 7th on the charts at the moment. Dan McLaren, Randy Shreves also out there on track. Let's go to the 56, who is currently 6th quick at a 12.67. Ryan LaFave just punched in lap 1. He's 5th quick at a 12.58. Left front Hoosier going off the ground. See how he does. Is it faster? It is by 100th of a second. Alex Pomelo improves to 10th quick at a 12.69. Final minute of qualifying. Now you're watching Kyle Moonen in the Vanderbilt Velocity Race Design number 24 machine. It's in the purple. That means it's a really good pull lap. Second lap for Moonen. First lap, excuse me, 15th quick at a 12.89. Vickery improves it up to 6th quick. Lefebvre is up to 8th quick. Kyle Moonen, our final driver to go out on qualifying. He'll stop the car. He knows he's not going to be faster. So, ladies and gentlemen, with a quick time of 12.486, the driver of the number 20 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Blake Chapman. John Hines, 7th quick in the 71. Your top 5, Blake Chapman, Isaac Salas, Zach Chapman, Charles Weaver, and Ryan Lefebvre. Mike Schultz is in chat saying he's on the naughty list. No qualifying run for me. I'm sorry to hear that, Mike. I don't know if I should feel bad for you or what. I'm just kidding. Anyway, first heat about to go down, brought to you by our friends at Magnum Race Design, and we're just about set to go. Here is your lineup for our first heat race, and yes, I understand we have to change that. Front row is Claude Fournier Jr. and John Hine. Row number 2, Charles Weaver and Blake Chapman. Row 3, Bob DeGood and Kyle Moonen. Starting from 7th is Brian Lawson. John, you got a stacked heat, that's for sure. John Hine, Charles Weaver, Blake Chapman always fast, as well as Kyle Moonen.
Yeah, just going to concentrate on hit my marks down here in turn 1 here and see where we are once we get out of turn 1. And just try to be smart here and get her in the show. That's always the first box you got to check for the night. Get in that top 4, go right to the main, and you don't have to worry about the B. So I operate by a checklist. That's always my first one.
We had about 17, 18 drivers on the entry list, so everyone will make it into our feature tonight for the Big Block Modified. Steve King Foundation pace car is in pit road in the hands of the starter stand as we're green. Winner of this race starts from pole position tonight for our feature. Fournier got off to a great start, but here comes Hine rocking the cushion off the corner, and Hine leads lap number 1. He had the momentum off of turn 4, power his way to the lead. Fournier Jr. trying to fight it back though on the bottom side. Almost got the lead away from John Hine. We got one almost upside down. That's Moonen in the 24 who makes a nice save. John Hine though, quickest lap in this heat at the moment at a 12.6. Blake Chapman second. Charles Weaver currently with the final transfer spot. Fournier not going up the top side, trying to see if he can get some moisture on the bottom. Fournier almost slams the door on Weaver. Weaver with a huge run on the outside. I think he'll get third here at the start-finish line, and he does. Good battle for the lead happening here as we are halfway home in our first heat race. John Hine, Blake Chapman battling for pole position. Hine's led all the laps so far in this heat. Chapman closes in a little in turns 1 and 2. Chapman's a lot better on the entries. Hine is better on the exits. 2 laps to go. Winner starts on pole position. Driver that finishes in second, I believe, will start from 4th. Chapman tries to close in once again. Weaver on the tail of the top 2. There you see the driver of the 27 trying to be a late contender early. But John Hine starts from pole position tonight as he takes the first heat race. So, John, how about that? You got clean air to begin this race.
Yeah, that'll be an advantage for sure. Won't be in traffic. The track is going to be completely different, though, than what it is now. So we'll have to see if we're still good when the track gets all slicked up and all of a sudden you got to be a driver then.
Second heat race brought to you by 2-1 Designs, as winner of this heat race will start on the outside of the front row. Alex Pomerleau and Randy Shreves make up row 1. Row number 2, Ryan Lefebvre and Isaac Salas. Salas the quickest in of the drivers in time trials. Teammates, by the way, are the Venom Racing Camp. Keep that in mind. Row 3, Jeff Barker and GJ Boydell. And starting with the Heat EOL, that is Mike Schultz, a part of the Penny and Posse. And there you see on your screen the Steve King Foundation pace car for Thursday nights. One lap to green here, John. Who's your one to watch out for?
Well, I think the guy that just parked at Victory Lane the race before, Isaac Salas, he's got the momentum here. Obviously, this track agrees with him. Let's see what he's got here in the big blocks.
See if he can sweep the modifieds here tonight, as the pace car is in pit road. 8 laps, top 4 go directly to the feature. Everyone else gets a little bit of extra practice. Bad start from the 56 of Randy Shreves, and we're 3 wide off turn 2 for the lead. Look at the run for Lefebvre, trying it on the bottom side of this racetrack. Does not work for him. Pomerleau up on the cushion leads lap number 1. Shreves gets a run though up on that outside groove. He's up to second. Isaac Salas still back in 4th. Top 4 all single file at the moment, John.
Yeah, they are, and they're all utilizing the top. The first guy on the bottom is going to be Jeff Barker, and the top right now just being on the top. Whoa, Boydell, and he's out of here.
Did a wheelie and he's gone. He'll go to the B main tonight.
Yeah, and you're going to see more and more of that as the cushion gets closer to that wall. These right fronts, man, I'm telling you, Marty, when they get to the wall, you're usually a passenger, and they'll climb that wall at a heartbeat.
Lefebvre tried the inside. That didn't work out. We're halfway home in heat race number 2. In the battle for third, the teammates. Isaac Salas up on the outside of Ryan Lefebvre. Salas actually got the wall a little bit too close, but look who else is up here. Mike Schultz is battling for a transfer spot. Wow, the battle is on. 2 to go, John.
Yeah, looks like Randy Shreves is looking for any way around. Alex Palmer, and look at Salas.
And for 4th, Salas with a big send. Move Shreves up the track. He'll back out of a spot because of that. I think that's the much respectful move to make.
Yep.
And so Schultz goes to 3rd. Lefebvre is up to 4th. Pomerleau's going to get a heat win here. Who's going to get 4th, though, at the line? Between Salas and Lefebvre. Lefebvre got it by about a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, I'm going to bet Shreves, because he was running the top side. I'm going to bet Salas buried it in there, not expecting Shreves to all of a sudden be on the low. And when he did, boy, they met their big time there in 3 and 4.
I got to give credit to Isaac Salas. That was a lot of class. He could have just decided to gas it and say, hey, I'm going to the feature. But that was a lot of class, a lot of respect, saying, hey, I messed up. I'll give it back to you guys. Because you don't see that often in dirt racing.
No, you don't, and that's a credit to Isaac Salas there, and he should be commended for that. And that's short track racing though. When you change your lines or something like that, guys are around you. I mean, that kind of stuff kind of happened. It isn't that, and I'm not saying that Shreves wasn't supposed to do that. I'm just saying when you do, you always run that risk, and it's up right there. And it was a nice job by Salas to give that back up.
Third heat race brought to you by Chip Bangers Racing, and here's how they line up. It's Dino on pole position. Dean Reynolds, him and Butch Baker make up row 1. Row 2, Nick Vickery and Zach Chapman. Watch the 72 closely. Row number 3, Nathan Aldrich and Dan McLaren. McLaren, the lone Canadian in this heat race. Real quick, you're one to watch out for.
Well, I'm going to go with my buddy and teammate there, Zach Chapman, sitting second. He's up in the points here. He's been running these cars pretty good here this year, so I'm going to keep my eye on him.
Ready for the green flag. Winner starts in 3rd tonight. Bad start from Dean Reynolds, but can he possibly try and clear up on Butch Baker? Let's see if he gets it to work. Yes, he does. Slams the door on the outside. So Baker follows Reynolds as Dino leads lap number 1 of the line. Meanwhile, looking on the bottom is Vickery. He's trying to get that middle groove working, looking for 2nd. Well, that's one of my favorite parts about Fairbury here, John. Many grooves around this track.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I said.
Whoa!
earlier, too.
The mystery machine of Zach Chapman, him and Vic retouch. And now Chapman's stuck in a battle for the final transfer spot. And he's in the wall again. He's all the way back to last.
Yeah, tough break there. That's
And
hard
now-
racing.
And now McLaren's in the wall. Here comes Aldridge for fourth. That's his outstanding racing for the final transfer spot. McLaren's in the wall once again. I don't know which battle to watch here, John. The battle for fourth or the battle for the heat win. Oh,
Yeah, and this is a
Baker
bad time
got
for
the
my
wall.
VR to quit working.
Baker got the wall, by the way. McLaren's clear for second. Around the outside, Butch Baker, after getting the wall, still steals second from Nick Vickery. He still holds on to it. 2 laps to go, though, in our heat. Dean Reynolds, though, still leading, just holding on to his line in the 790. Butch Baker goes for the send. That doesn't work, though. Final lap underway in the heat race. Vickery trying to put pressure on Butch Baker, which will definitely help out Reynolds in the 790. Off of turn number 4. Guess what? Dino actually won something. Dino wins heat 3. And so Dean will start from position number 3, and I know he's got to feel a whole lot better after what he's been through in the past few weeks with the series.
Yeah, he's had just awful luck. That's going to be a nice little shot in the arm here. So he's going to have a good starting spot for the feature and see if he can capitalize on it a little later.
So our official sponsor of Thursday Night Thunder wins heat race number 3, and now we have our B-Main. B-Main brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies, and here's how the lineup looks. It's Claude Fournier Jr. and Isaac Salas making up the front row. A big surprise is Salas and Zach Chapman are in this B-Main. Next to Zach Chapman is Bob DeGood. Row 3, Jeff Barker and Nathan Aldridge. And row 4, another surprise, Kyle Moonen next to G.J. Boydell. We've yet to see Kyle Moonen, though. He's got 8 seconds to grid, or else he'll start from last position.
Kyle was having some connection issues. I don't know if it was Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday night.
It was Monday.
So, yeah, so hopefully he gets that corrected.
Yeah, Monday was what put him into the B main, and I could not believe that Kyle Moonen did not make the field for the Renegades.
Yeah, that probably is a first, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. I really did feel bad for Kyle Moonen in that situation, too.
Yeah, it goes to show in iRacing there are, almost like real life. You can have engine problems, stuff like that. Some things you can't control that can doom your night. And iRacing is no different.
Steve King Foundation pace car in pit road again, just for fun in this practice session, in this B main, aka the Consolation, as we're green. Oh man, Salas just lost. Wow. I don't know what to say on that. Salas just lost it completely in turn 2. I think Johnny didn't think that track was going to be that slick on the high side.
Yeah, you don't see Salas lose it too often there, so yeah, that probably either was a misjudgment getting in too hard or he put too much wheel in it, not realizing that he's on a skating rink.
Zach Chapman goes to the lead over Claude Fournier. Bob DeGood on the high side. He's posted the quickest lap at a 12:92. There he goes around. Oh my, Fournier and Chapman, they both go around. What on earth happened? The front of the field just went around and Fournier is stuck up on the Tory tire. Incredibly strange, and we'll go to the now comes replay for the first time tonight. Was there contact? There was. On the inside, Fournier just couldn't get off the brakes in time enough. And so your race leader is Bob DeGood, and he's gone. 1.3 second lead over Jeff Barker. Nice run going on for the driver of the 7th. Normally you don't see him up front in these races in general, whether it be a feature or a heat race. So Bob DeGood getting some good TV time.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing I am watching, Marty. I'm like back watching Greg Boydell. Greg is on the very bottom, And going into 3, and I know this is in the earlier practice, it's just something for a little bit later on. If you're going to run the bottom, he's hitting some bumps down there that I felt, and I mean, it's just almost wanting to tip the car over. I don't know if you get an overhead shot of Boydell when he goes into 3 and 4 here, but watch the car bounce. He's probably trying to miss them now at this point. Right there.
Yeah, we're seeing it too. That's a nice low line. Perhaps we could see that take place in our feature tonight. Watch closely. Oh, bang with Zach Chapman. Bob DeGood, though, wins the B-main.
Zach got loose in the corner there and had to chase it down the track, and poor Greg was the wrong place at the wrong time.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, time for our Oshweekend Speedway warm-up watch. Before we let you watch the cars, a couple of things here. Vickery actually said a lot of respect for Salas, their racing deal, but he did what was right. And Dean says, are there trophies for heat wins? That's his second heat win tonight.
No, but TV time, I guess, is going to be trophy enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have to talk to Roger about that to see if we can get those winner stickers for any win.
Absolutely. Hey, at least I have a feature win. So, anyway, here's your Oshweekend Speedway warm-up watch as the drivers are on track.
I'm going to stay with, I don't know how far back Salas is. You know, he was really quick in that first race. I think that's going to be, but like I said, I think more than the driver to watch, I'm really going to be interested to see if that bottom line develops and becomes viable. I think that could dictate who wins this thing and who doesn't.
Absolutely could, perhaps. Let's see if any of the drivers test it out. Everyone's going up on that high side in this warm-up. The drivers testing many grooves here, which I'm not surprised. You see Mike Schultz testing the low line, joining Boydell with that.
Yeah, we should get off to this high line here. It's going to burn it up for the feature, but I'm going to go down here and check these bumps out and see just if they're worse than what they were in practice. Because that might actually prohibit that bottom line because it upsets the car so much. I'm going down the back and right on turn-in, when you have to be getting back to the throttle, you're actually in the air when you should be kind of getting into the back into the throttle a little bit to get going back down the straightaway. So that's going to be a handful down here.
Ryan Lawson currently with crickets. We've got 1 minute left of the warm-up at a 12:7:10. Followed by Blake Chapman, John Hine, Charles Weaver, and Zach Chapman.
You know, Marty, you might even see a middle lane here.
Yeah.
3 and 4's got a really nice middle lane, and same thing down here, 1 and 2. So, heck, we might even have 3 wide racing for a good part of this.
Who knows, but we're just going to hope for the best of racing here at the moment. Checkers are out on the warm-ups, and again, Brian Lawson quickest at a 12.710. Well, we are set to go for the Beasts of the Northeast with the big block modifieds at Fairbury Speedway. Let's meet the 20 men ready to take the green flag. Here is the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, it is John Hine in the 71 and Alex Pomerleau in the 397. Row number 2, Dean Reynolds in the 790 and Blake Chapman in the 20. Row 3, Randy Shreves in the 56 and Nick Vickery in the 00. Row 4, Charles Weaver in the 27 and Mike Schultz in the 016. Row 5, Butch Baker and Brian Lawson in row 5. Row 6, it's Ryan LaFave in the 019 and Dan McLaren in the 88. Row 7, it's Butch Baker in the 97 and Brian Lawson in the 9. Bob DeGood and Jeff Barker, row 7. Isaac Salas, G.J. Boydell, row number 8. Zach Chapman, Claude Fortier Jr., row 9. Rounding out the field, Nathan Aldrich and Kyle Moonen. Tell you, Fortier and Moonen both missed the start. We get set to go for the Dylan Westbrook Racing start. And fans, as we take the green flag, we're going to say it the way Land of Legends Raceway Wall of Famer Gary Montgomery always said it. Race fans, it's time to sit down and hold on to your seats, because these men, by the grace of God and 800 horsepower, are ready to go to work. Looking to run by Heinoff at turn number 2. They're 3 wide for second spot behind them. Dean Reynolds picks up a spot as Hine leads lap number 1. Blake Chapman tries to get a run down to the inside. He can't get the slide to work. Here goes Reynolds down low looking for the lead up on John Hine. Can't get that slide to work though either. Pamelo almost gets into Reynolds. Almost spun him out meanwhile. But look at the run for around the outside for Butch Baker. Not Butch Baker, or was that Nick Vickery? It's Vickery in the 00 looking for a podium spot. Going around the preferred lane, gets by Blake Chapman for 4th. He continues to run the same line that John Hine is going in car 71. A lot of drivers were using that high line to see if the low group could have some energy set, as we've got a battle for the race lead. Reynolds trying to look inside on the 71 of Hine, but doesn't seem to work out just yet. Look how bumpy it is. Reynolds almost goes upside down. Having a wild ride, that's for sure. Vickery looking for second spot meanwhile. To me, that's for 3rd on Pamelo. And now he could have a chance at P2 on Reynolds. 3 drivers up top and 3 drivers on the bottom. This is the best battle on the track. Reynolds tries to get the lead off in turn 2 and try to find some moisture. Doesn't work. Here comes Vickery around the outside looking for second position. 00 can't make it work out just yet. He started from 6th in this feature and is all the way up to 3rd. Reynolds, no! All by himself, just got airborne from underneath him and flipped it. From 2nd to the toe. Well, you saw what happened. There's the Malcolm's Mills Bill Redding replay, and what you saw just up close. It was just getting really bumpy in that corner, and Reynolds catches air.
Yeah, I just drove through there at pace speed, and wow. I don't remember those being there. That last build must have added something down there.
Yeah, turn 3 is definitely very bumpy, and maybe perhaps at the same time, and you can't really see this from the broadcast perspective, but maybe perhaps when you enter turn number 3, he may have gotten, when he went in his lane, he may have committed between where it's slick and where there's moisture like the apron, because normally you can feel the bumps there for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, that's going to challenge guys, I think, for this whole race.
So here we go into the Land of Legends Raceway TV restart zone. John Hine and Nick Vickery, 2 guys I know very well, make up the front row, and we're back to green. Great fire from the professor and John Hine. Alex Pamelo looking underneath for the 2nd position. We can tell you that Dean Reynolds is a lap down, but he's got to wait though. We're under caution. And another surprise here. Isaac Salas has wrecked it in the 05. Try this again, show you what happened to Salas on this restart. Oh, they stacked up for by. Oh, that was McLaren. And Salas gets into the tire. And somehow the front nose is not chipped off of that. So because of that, this next restart will be single file. So we'll try this Land of Legends restart once again. So it's John Hine leading, Nick Vickery 2nd, Alex Pamelo 3rd, Blake Chapman 4th, Randy Shreves 5th. Charles Weaver is 6th, Butch Baker 7th, Ryan Lefebvre 8th, Dan McLaren 9th, Mike Schultz is 10th. Here we go. Hind and Victory hold serve at the top 2 spots. Pomelo was thinking the inside, but Blake Chapman gets inside. Hey, I want to go lower too, like it's the limbo. Off the corner, Chapman hits that little hill. Here we go for the lead though. Victory underneath. Thought about the slide job on John Hind. That doesn't work though, but it's a drag race entering turn 3. Low line passes have been really tough tonight, but if there's one guy that can look out, big wreck. Maybe. Weaver with a fantastic save, but it stacks the field up. Baker is loose, and he saves it somehow too. Wow, this is getting good, folks. 12 laps are complete, 13 this time by, as Nick Vickery is stalking John Hind for the race lead. On board with the 0-0. Down to about half a car length. The high side going. I think Vickery just trying to pressure the 71 into making a mistake, and also at the same time, see if he can go for the slide job. Pomelo wants that low line though, but he can't really get it to work. But he's doing good at, you know, having the full rotation with the slide. Not the slide job, but like driving it like you have to drift it. Brian Lefebvre just spiked it in turn 4 on the low side, almost went upside down. Be back in 6th position. Good start though for Lefebvre. Up from 11th to 6th position at the moment. Let's go back up to the front though. Pomelo trying the inside line on the track. That's what I was talking about with how bumpy it is. Gotta be careful. You don't want to catch too much here, because if you do, see what happens with Dean Reynolds. Caution's back out. And Isaac Salas once again around in 4. And we are hearing Zach Chapman was also perhaps involved in this. There's the mystery machine of Zach Chapman. Caught the wall. Around he went, and Salas had nowhere to go. Let's ride on board here with Salas in that 5. He was committed to the high side. There was nothing he could do about it, because the situation is once you commit to a lane, you got to stay in that lane pretty much. And once you commit to that lane and a wreck happens in front of you, you pretty much have nowhere to go, because if you're on the brakes, your car could go around all by itself, no matter what happens. Back to green, 12 to go. Gets away with a good jump. Let's see what Pomelo does. He goes back on the bottom. Lefebvre as well, looking inside on Blake Chapman in the battle for 4th. We could have a possibility of going 4 wide off at turn 4, and it doesn't happen. Lefebvre, though, still stalking Chapman. Inside he goes for 4th position. Chapman, Lefebvre, couple positions off from being the hard charger of this race at the moment, brought to you by Battle Beaver. Chapman getting that high side work, and that's the preferred line here around this track. Chapman wants to go to that high side though. Wants to see if he can get by Pomelo for a podium spot. He's getting it to work right now. Here we go though for the lead. Vickery inside on Hind. Hind though almost rode the wall off of turn number 2. Allows Vickery to pull up to the door. 7 laps to go. This time by here at Fairbury for the Land of Legends Big Block Modifieds. But we're under caution once again for Brian Lawson. And I will show you the replay here, show you what happened to the driver of the number 9 Magnum machine. And a lot like what happened to Blake Chapman, there's McLaren just piling in there, nowhere to go. So our 5th yellow of the evening, and we'll have 6 laps to go. Excuse me, 7 laps to go, I believe. Field gets reset. There will be 7 laps to go. Hine opens up to a car length lead. Pamela looking back on the bottom, trying to see whatever it can do to go for second position on the track. You see the field off turn. Cody almost had a run on victory for second position. Here goes Blake Chapman around the outside, looking for that podium spot on the 397, and we're wrecking behind them, as you can see. Mike Schultz has spun it, along with G.J. Boydell and Nate Aldrich. Here's what happened. In about mid-pack, if not the rear of the field. Boydell was already going around. Mike Schultz nowhere to go. And let's show you the Boydell perspective. Ooh, that was some neck code there. Boydell was just trying to save that car. It was just about to go around it. I don't think Schultz really got the memo on that. But that's normal when it comes to dirt tracks on iRacing. Back to the Land of Legends Raceway TV restart zone. Will this be the final restart? We'll see. 5 laps to go at Fairbury. Again, top 2 on the outside, but we're under caution again. G.J. Boydell, we believe, spun before the yellow, so this will give us now a 4-lap shootout. See what happened with the Osh Weekend Speedway car. That's pretty much junk at this moment. Yeah, he cut down a lot. Wow! What a barrel roll for Boydell. Didn't suffer too much damage, surprisingly. Testament to the Bicknell chassis. The virtual Bicknell chassis, I should say. So we'll have 4 laps to go when we come back to green. John Hine has led all 25 laps of this race so far. Can he lead all 30 to victory lane? Will victory spoil a party? Or will we see a surprise? Well, to find out. Nice restart for the Professor. Pamelo trying all the way down low. Vickery thought about blocking. Hine, though, up in the wall. 3 wide for the race lead off for 2. Vickery tries to get a run. Pamelo tries to get a run off the corner. Who's got it? Hine still survives. He's clear with 3 to go. Blake Chapman now looking for 3rd position on the track. Can he get by Pamelo for the bottom step of the podium? He's got it for right now. 2 laps to settle it here at Fairbury. They're 3 wide for 2nd position. Vickery, though, trying to get a run on John Hine. Well, the battle for 2nd is on. That's what Hine wants to see. This time by. White flag in the air. 1 to go for John Hine. Can he get his first win of the season with the big block modifieds? If Chapman or Vickery want it, they're going to have to come and get it. Do we see the slide job happen? Do we see the bumper? Chapman's got to run. Hine gets it. The Professor schools everyone, and John Hine takes the win at Fairbury. How do you like that, Hine?
I need some oxygen.
That was a fun finish, man. Oh, man, oh, man. Talk us through those, with the mindset on those final few laps. Obviously, it was just to keep that high side.
Yeah, it hit my marks, and I almost threw the whole thing away on that last restart. I got a kind of a little bit of a bad angle going, and we wanted to put the top and put her in the wall a little bit. Just was real lucky. I think those other guys were probably a little quicker than I was. Just I had good starting position, able to take advantage of being in that top line. I don't know if I think that thing would have went green at the end for maybe 10 laps. I might have been a sitting duck, but you know what? A win's a win's a win. I'll take it and move on here. Especially I'll take it in a division and a car that I'm really not all that great in. So, wow, you know, like I said, I need oxygen. That was a lot of concentration there.
Absolutely, it was. Well, I know you're looking forward to driving the late model around here. How much does this hype you up now with that big block win?
Well, as keyed up as I was these last few laps, now I got to try not to be let down. 'Cause it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, that was so intense. Now I got to turn around and go do it again. I'm getting old. I don't know if I can keep doing that.
Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on your run?
Yeah, I'd like to first of all give a shout out to VMR Wraps. This car looks really, really sharp. Nick and the crew over there do such a great job. If anybody's in the market for a wrap, go out to Facebook, find them, and Nick will get you set up there. And I'd like to thank Andy over at Cool Ray Heating and Plumbing. Andy's a big supporter of the league, and let everybody know if you are in the Atlanta area and spring, we're in springtime, summer's coming. If you want to get your air conditioners tuned up, make sure they're going to be ready for those hot Atlanta winters or hot Atlanta summers. Give Cool Ray a look up, and they'll get you set up. And I'd like to thank the cruise shop. Summer travel season's coming up. Brent will send you anywhere you want to go. Just go to the cruiseshopfw.com. I'd like to thank my Gambler teammates. Just a fun group of guys. I'm so proud of them. They compete in everything that they do, and it's a nice group to be a part of. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife, and she puts up letting me do this, and I just cannot thank her enough.
Well, you're staying here in this booth with me for now. Nick Vickery, our second place finisher. I know the top two guys really well. Nick, you had a great run from 6th up to 2nd. You're up on the high side. You nearly got the lead from John Hine after that restart when he got the wall. What more did you need?
Yeah, I needed him to go to the bottom. I was hoping that he was watching his relative and saw that Pomerleau was on the bottom and making up ground, and leave me the top side so I could dive it in as hard as I wanted to. But yeah, I felt like I could get a good run coming out of turn 2, but I couldn't get quite good enough of a run to throw a slider in 3 and 4. I finished with a 0x, and I'm fairly certain John did as well. So, I didn't want to take those bonus points away from anybody, and I mean, the second place finish is still a good points night. So that's 2 second place finishes in a row here at this track. So we'll have to see how it goes going into the Pro Lates.
I know you're so good on the Pro Late models, that's for sure. Who do you want to give shout-outs to tonight?
I definitely got to shout out Spartan Racing. Good group of guys, and Dan was actually, but I think he brought home 8th tonight, so definitely a top 10 run's a good run. Yep. So after that would be SPGC 3D printing. If anybody there has any 3D printing needs, definitely go check out Mr. Tom Taylor over on Facebook. Got to give another shout out to VMR Wraps. We finished 1 and 2 with wrap cars tonight, so nothing to complain about there. But if anybody needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook. VMR E-Wraps, Mirror Image Auto Spa, my wife for letting me do this, Roger and Preston for keeping everything going and everything flowing smoothly, and then of course you for putting on a great show, and maybe that guy you got sitting in the booth with you too.
Great job, man, and good luck in the late model.
All right, thanks guys.
Nick Vickery finishing in 2nd spot. Our 3rd place finisher tonight is Blake Chapman in the number 20. Blake, just talk about your race, and did you think you had anything for the win there at the end?
I don't think I had anything for John or Nick really there towards the end, but I had a lot of fun. Coming into the night, I rarely drive these big blocks, so I wasn't sure what to expect and where to run, and I was just kind of trying out different lines, and I found a really good line there at the end, and the bottom was coming in, so once I got down to the bottom, I would have liked to go up towards the top, at least in 3 and 4 at the very end, but I couldn't get up there. But again, I just had a lot of fun tonight.
Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on your run?
Of course, my parents and grandparents, Steve Bixler, everybody who watches and supports. I got to thank teammates, Krite Sim Racing and the Can-Am Racing team. And got to give a shout out to Galen's Popcorn. I got Cheddar Trio here at my house right now, and it's delicious. They got a lot of great flavors. Go check them out at galensgourmetpopcorn.com and use code CART for 15% off of any purchase. And I got to thank you guys for putting this on.
All right, we'll let you go. Great job tonight.
Thanks, Marty.
Thank you, Blake. John Hine, though, celebrating in Cool Ray Victory Lane, as you obviously know by now. Our Battle Beaver Hard Charger Award goes to Nathan Aldrich from 19th to finish 11th, up 8 positions. Here are the official results from tonight. It is John Hine, Nick Vickery, Blake Chapman, Alex Pomerleau, Charles Weaver, Ryan LaFave, Randy Shreves, Dan McLaren, Jeff Barker, Mike Schultz, the top 10. John, final thoughts on this one before we go to the late models.
Well, I don't know if we can really top that from your call. I can't wait to go back and watch it. But that sounds like a pretty exciting race, and we're 2 for 2 on that front. So we'll see if we can go 3 for 3 here with the late models.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens. So we'll step aside. We'll go to break, and when we come back, it's late model time here at Fairbury. Stay with us.
Battle for the race lead off turn 4. White flag in the air. Justin Hares, top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can he get the lead? Yes, he does. And now here comes Janzik. Janzik goes by Query, and he goes by Inman. Gonna drag race off of turn 4. Shepard is there, but it's Larry White at the line. It's still gonna be Pat Ward, and they make contact. Britton has broken the race car. Peter Britton comes to a stopping.
in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and is supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
We welcome you back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we get set to go for our late models here at Fairbury Speedway, and we've got a lot of time, I believe, before we go racing with the late models here tonight. Late models, by the way, brought to you by our friends at Chip Bangers Racing, banging the chip and a rip in the lip. Having some technical difficulties here at the moment with our logos, and we're just getting things all set to go here for our opening activity. Stand by. Let us know, by the way, who you're rooting for in the chat. I know we got a lot of fans out there tonight, that's for sure. Been a busy week here, by the way, at Fairbury for the Coolray Coast to Coast Racing League. While we're at, let's show you our Coast to Coast Racing League schedule. Tomorrow night, we've got Friday Night Lights here at Fairbury. That begins at 7 p.m. Monday is Monday Night Madness, brought to you by the Oshweekend Speedway. We'll be at Outdoor for the 360 Sprint Cards. Live coverage is at 8 p.m. Tuesday, the Hometown Heroes at I-55. We'll have the UMPs 305s and 360s. That's at 7 p.m. Wednesday, Vets and First Responders Night. All that will take place at Eldora. The next week, Thursday Night Thunder, brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series, will be at Lernerville at 7 p.m. all here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. So, as we get set to go, and yes, I understand we've got the old logo here. Why don't we take this opportunity to have a little bit of fun? You want to see how bad I am at iRacing? I know a lot of you like to see how bad I am at iRacing. Let's take a late model out for a ride here. Now again, I suck here, especially when it comes to driving a late model. Let's see how bad I am with this. Now luckily, I've kind of... And now they advance to the next session. Damn, Jeff really doesn't want to see me in a pro late model for the heck of it. Okay. Anyway, checkers are out just as we were about to have a little bit of fun. Wait, now it's time for qualifying, brought to you by ABR Setup Shop. We'll watch the first driver that comes out onto the track, and Dino's got his late model with him tonight. Uncommon for him to bring out the pro late model onto the track. Normally on Thursday nights he'll use the small and big block, but I'm impressed that he's bringing out the late model tonight. So he'll set the bar here in qualifying. See what he starts off with. 12.110 is where Templeton sets the bar at. Here's Blake Chapman in the number 20 machine. Tater Williams goes up to second spot. Templeton looking for an improved lap, 12.110, off by a couple hundredths of a second. Blake Chapman up to second. Tater Williams back in third spot. Kurt Schatzer on his second lap at a 12.15. The win in purple, we'll take an eye on. Kurt Schatzer. Does he have it? 12.13 is all he can get out of that. Mike Schultz done with his run. Same with Andy Piercefield. Zach Chapman done. Nathan Aldrich in the 5:14. First lap for Aldrich. He's 12th quick with a 13.3. He's got one more lap here. And as he comes off the corner, much better lap. Goes 11th though. Steven Spies in car number 55. Completes lap 1 in the Gambler machine. He goes 9th quick at a 12:59. Under a minute to go here in qualifying for the late models. Spies off by 4/10 on his second lap. Final minute here in qualifying. This is Brian Dickens in the 122. First lap, pole watch, quick time, 12:033 for Brian Dickens, faster by 0.08 of a second, and he's just shutting the lights out. Let's go to Nick Vickery here. We'll have one more lap. Start the time off with a fourth time, 12:16. Dan McLaren goes 13th. Vickery on quick time watch. No, second quick at a 12:08 by just about 0.05 of a second. Brian Dickens is the quick time winner with a 12:033. The Icon Sim Sports 122. So we're set for our first heat race of the evening, brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Here's how the lineup looks here at Fairbury. Yes, we'll update this here for you right now. All right, so Mr. Cool Ray himself, Andy Piercefield, along with Bob DeGood, they'll make up the front row. Row 2, Icon Sim Sport teammates in Kurt Schatzer and Brian Dickens. In row number 3, Dan McLaren and Randy Shreves. We'll get John back in here in the booth until he has to go racing. John, who is your one to watch in this first heat race for pole position?
Well, I think Andy had just disconnected. I'm going to go with Andy. If he can get in here. Yeah, he had a little computer snafu, so he's got about 55 seconds here to get in here. But if he can't make it,
hey,
I'm going to go with Kurt Schatzer. All right. Then I'm going to go with Andy, my first choice. Kurt Schatzer is going to be my second choice. Kurt's been really fast here lately in these cars, and I think he's going to be highly competitive here tonight.
We'll see what happens. The late models always never disappoint. The feature attraction for actually I shouldn't say the feature attraction, but always the final event in Thursday Night Thunder every Thursday nights. Been a fun one so far tonight. Of course, 358s, won by Isaac Salas. Big Block's a great race, won by John Hine.
I'm still catching my breath, just for the record.
I don't blame you. So we appreciate all of you coming on in here. Winner of this heat race starts from pole position. Top 4 transfer directly, but everyone will be in the feature tonight. That's on the entry list. Here we go. Bob DeGood gets away with a bang. Andy Piercefield gives Kurt Schatzer a little bang down the back chute. DeGood had the lead off at turn 2. Low line though worked, and we got trouble already. Randy Shreves got around. Bob DeGood was loose. He saved it. They're still wrecking. Oh my! The quick time is up on his lid. A long Dan McLaren though keeps it going, and Brian Dickens, the fastest in qualifying has to go to the B main. Andy Piercefield and Kurt Schatzer, though. John, you called it. They are the ones to watch. They just set identical laps of a 12.8. This time by Piercefield faster by about 700s, but Schatzer's right there.
Yeah, Andy's got, it looks like he pushes a little bit more than what Schatzer does in the corner, but he's making it work as he's lapsing. Here goes Schatzer to the bottom.
Tried to go for the slide job. That didn't work, though. Halfway home in this heat. Bobby Good currently third. Randy Shreves fourth, ahead by 3 seconds. Back to the lead. Schatzer trying the inside. Is it going to work? No. On board with the 218.
This is a good battle here. Both these guys have got a couple laps left. Schatzer again trying to work the bottom in 1 and 2.
Winner of this race starts from pole position tonight for the late models. Schatzer, a better exit off turn 2 than Andy Piercefield. Does Schatzer decide to go for a run? Tries the inside, not going to work. Andy Piercefield, Mr. Cool Ray himself. No, there's the slider there. This track always confuses me. Piercefield comes out just in front of Schatzer.
Say the excitement continues.
Yeah. This track always confuses me because on one side you've got the stands that are actually the back straightaway, but then you've got the press box with no stands, and I always forget the flag stands on the same time.
Yeah, they got the for the tractor pulls they have here between the between the front straightaway and the grandstand.
Damn you, Fairbury, all I'll say for messing me up. All right, I'll let you get back in your booth while you go for heat race number 2. So I'll bring you back in afterwards. Second heat race brought to you by 2-1 Designs. Here's how we line things up for you. Steven Speeds and Mike Schultz on the front row. Row number 2, Blake Chapman and Nick Vickery. Vickery likely the one to watch closely. Row 3 is Jeff Barker and John Hine. So as we get set to go, let's take a look at chat here. Nick Vickery said that it was a hell in a cell. Dean said, may I call for the grader in turns 3 and 4. Roger said he's never seen that before. Chris Alvey wondering whether 358 race is saved. And it will be up on demand later tonight or in the morning, like Vickery said. Winner of this heat race, though, starts from the outside of the front row, next to Andy Piercefield, and we're green. See Speeds looking for the slide job early. Mike Schultz has a run up on the outside as they go down the back chute. Schultz riding the lip up on the wall, and Vickery stacks everybody up as Schultz leads lap 1. Speeds currently behind in second. Big slide on the exit for Mike Schultz. May cost him a little bit of time. 55, but all the drivers on track using the outside. John Hine loose off for turn 4. Blake Chapman, though, trying to close in for that final transfer spot. Nick Vickery, quickest car on the track at 12:46. Hine scrapes the wall in 3 and 4. Let's see what happens. On board with the double zeros. He tries to get around on Steven Speeds. He tries the inside, the battle for the race lead. Try to slide up. Here's the run for Vickery. Just found the lane. Speeds almost squeezed him up in the wall. So move the double zero up to second. Speeds falls back to third as we're halfway home in heat 2. Schultz slides it on the exit. Vickery sees this as an advantage. Goes to the inside. Tries the slide job. Doesn't work. Speeds, though, gets the run. Second is his and throws the elbow. Meanwhile, John Hine sends it on the outside. He's up to third. That was a perfect move by the 71. Top 4 currently nose to tail. Blake Chapman will love to see a wreck happen amongst the top 4 so he can transfer his way into the feature. White flags out, though. 1 lap to go. Speeds have anything for Mike Schultz. It'll be a battle of heating and cooling. Andy Piercefield and Mike Schultz. Remember, Schultz heating and cooling. Mike Schultz takes the win in the second heat race. I don't know if you could ask for anything better than that. Third heat race, only with 5 drivers, brought to you by Chip Bangers Racing. The lineup looks like this. Zach Chapman and Dean Reynolds on the front row. Then it's Tater Williams and Brandon Templeton in row 2. Nathan Aldrich starts from 5th position. Of course, the one you're going to have to watch out for closely will be Tater Williams, who's always here on Thursday nights just for late models in that Chip Bangers machine. Zach Chapman, though, in the mystery machine number 72, also one that's very good at the late models, so you can watch out for him closely. Coming to green this time, Steve King Foundation pace car is in. Here we go. Nice start from Zach Chapman, gets in front of Dean Reynolds. Let's see what Tater Williams does. He knows how to work the inside of these late models all the time. Doesn't get second yet to Dino, he'll fall back in 3rd. Brandon Templeton in 4th position. Only one guy goes down to our B main for extra time. Nathan Aldrich and Brandon Templeton going at it for that. And Aldrich is off the pace. Dean Reynolds, though, quickest lap in this heat. A surprisingly 12:58 for Dino at the moment. But as right now, I think he's just hanging in there. Sends it in a little bit too much. Almost rode the wall in turn 2. I think turn 3 and 4 is currently his weakness. At the moment you see him. Tough time at the throttle. Tater Williams down low. The 182 car is up to 2nd. Slides up in front of Reynolds. A little bit of contact. Sparks flew into. Brandon Templeton also wants a piece of the action as well while Zach Chapman pulls away. 3 laps to go in our heat race. And Templeton going at it for 3rd spot. High side's going to be the place for everyone tonight. Maybe they just want to use it up and see if we could possibly get some multi-groove racing. It's going to be tough though. 1 to go, and Tater Williams has closed in on Zach Chapman. Fastest car, 12.36. Williams tries to run to the inside to get around Aldrich. Doesn't work though. So Zach Chapman takes the win in heat race number 3. So here's our flatline consolation. Only 5 drivers needed for this. It is Dan McLaren and Blake Chapman on the front row. Nathan Aldrich and Brian Dickens in row 2, and Jeff Barker starts from position 5. Mike Schultz says, I feel bad for everyone behind me. I have no idea how to drive this thing. Or man, you're off to a good start though. You've got it figured out, qualifying in 2nd. Pace car is in. Again, just for fun. Winner starts from 13th tonight. Ryan Dickens did not make the call to grid, so he'll start from last position if he still makes it in. Run to the inside for Blake Chapman. He goes for the slide job. Nope, doesn't work. McLaren crosses it back under. McLaren leads lap 1. Bad exit for Dan McLaren. Drivers are having a tough time controlling their cars at the moment, especially on the exits here. Smooth to the top 2 at the moment. Canadian and Dan McLaren nearly scraped the wall in corner 2. Cushion very thin at the moment. They're just hugging it as much as they can. Third, though, on Aldrich. Inside on Jeff Barker. You don't want to be that weirdo starting from last position. Aldrich couldn't finish the pass, and he's riding the bottom side of this racetrack. They're the quickest car on the track at a 12.44, faster by 0.03. Blake Chapman was slower by 0.2 until he picked up that 12.47 last lap. About a 0.6 of a second lead over Blake Chapman. Winner starts from 13th position in our feature tonight. A lap and a half to go. Gap is up to 1 second. Biggest gap right now. Nathan Aldrich just posted the best lap of this heat race. A 13.08, half second slower than Dan McLaren. As he brings us off the corner, McLaren takes the win in the B main. So now we'll have our Oshweekend Speedway warm-up watch, and it'll just be pure 3 minutes of watching all the drivers. Craig Piper says doing better. Absolutely, that's for sure. All right, here's your warm-up watch. You'll be able to watch all your favorite drivers as they come out onto the track. Checkers are out on the warm-ups, and John Hine is the quickest with a 12.250. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Cool Ray, the Super Dirt Car Series, the Coast to Coast Racing League, and all the fine drivers and sponsors, we thank you for choosing to spend your Thursday night with us. It's now time to meet the 17 men strong, ready to take the green here for the late models at Fairbury. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the starting lineup. On the front row, the starting lineup brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series. The battle of heating and cooling, Andy Piercefield and Mike Schultz. Row number 2, Zach Chapman and Kurt Schatzer. 175, 016, 72, and 218. Row 3, Steven Spees in the 55 and Tater Williams in the 182. Row number 4, Bob DeGood in the 7 and John Hine in the number 71. Row 5, Dean Reynolds in the 790, Randy Shreves in the 56, and rounding out row number 6 is Nick Vickery and Brandon Templeton. To row 7 we go, you'll find Jeff Barker, Dan McLaren in the 88, Blake Chapman in the 20. Row 8, Jeff Barker in the 513, Nate Aldrich in the 514. Rounding out the field tonight, Ryan Dickens, but he did not make the cut, not make the call to grid, so 16 drivers will take the green flag. We're ready for the Dylan Westbrook Racing start, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? It's showtime at Fairbury. Already 3 wide off of turn 2, and it's Piercefield that leads the way. Zach Chapman trying to look to the inside. Mike Schultz nearly gets turned by Kurt Schatzer, says, hey man, it's time to go. Chapman's up to second. Schatzer around the outside looking for 2 for 1. 3 wide down the back chute, and Mike Schultz is falling out of this pack like a rat. For third, Tater Williams inside on Schatzer as we got the battle for the race lead heating up. Piercefield nearly strikes the wall. Chapman down to the bottom for the race lead. Piercefield leads left the start finish line, but Chapman knows he's got a completely faster car. Piercefield rides the wall in 1 and 2. Here's the run for Schatzer around the outside looking for second. He's got perhaps one of the best cars here. Tater Williams, John Hine, fastest car on the track, as Piercefield gets shuffled out back to third. Chapman goes to the race lead. Tater Williams all the way to the inside. Piercefield sliding all around left and right like a bucking bronco. He makes contact with John Hine. Williams goes to the point now. He puts the slider on Zach Chapman. Chapman crosses it over. The 72 back out front. Kurt Schatzer now down to the inside looking for second position on the track. Tater tries to cut across his nose. Williams wants to see if the bottom line works. Piercefield, look out, he's around, along with the 016 of Mike Schultz, and they're all piling in behind. Bob DeGood is on his roof. Also involved, Dean Reynolds. So we need a call to heating and cooling repair job because the air conditioning has pretty much exploded. What happened, Andy Piercefield and Mike Schultz. Watch the 016. He just pretty much loses this in turn 2. He can't even control the car. Oh, Piercefield just came down. He was losing complete control. Comes down into Shreves and Blake Chapman, and then all hell just broke loose. Watch that 75 of Piercefield. You gotta give him credit though. Had a great start in this feature. Just got the wall and lost control completely. Reynolds gets caught up. Look at the good up on his lid. Contact with, I want to say that was the 88 of McLaren. So, Land of Legends restart, back to green. We've completed 7 laps. Williams matches that restart with Zach Chapman. There's the crossover. Tater to the bottom. Williams goes to the point once again. Here comes Schatzer and Hine, but they're duking at it for third on the racetrack, and the high side seems to be the place to be compared to the big block modified feature. Hine now up to a podium spot as he makes this pass work on Kurt Schatzer, the big block modified racer, looking to go 2 for 3 here tonight. Finds a way to come on down on Zach Chapman, trying to pressure the 72 to make a mistake, but he's right there on the rear end of Scooby-Doo's Mystery Machine. Schatzer, the first man on the bottom, in fact, the only man on the bottom, and that's going to cost him a spot to Steven Spees, the 55 up to 4th. see what happens to Vickery in the 00 if he finds his way up to 5th or not. Jets are falling out big time. You can't even see anyone but Dan McLaren. Everyone riding single file around the high side, which is completely rubbered in, and pretty much a one-groove racetrack at the moment. Tater Williams currently leads. He started in 6th and is up into the front, one off from being the hard charger of the race. Nick Vickery started 11th. He's up to 5th. Caution flag is out, and there you see for who it's from. It's for Dean Reynolds. I believe 2 other drivers were caught up in it. Let's watch the replay. Brought to you by Malcolm's Mills Mill Ready. Tries to slide up on his buddy Mike Schultz. He clips the Tory tire on his sled, he goes. And thanks Brandon Tumbleton for putting him up on his roof. And you know what? We're gonna have a little bit more fun with Dino. You wanna know why? We're going gyro camming. Let's show you how Dean Reynolds hit the Tory tire, and I bet ya if Tori Stoutlinger, big block modified driver I know well, sees this, he's gonna go all in on Reynolds' rear end. And I bet you Steve-O will say the same thing, the sponsor for the big blocks at Land of Legends Raceway TV. Speaking of that, ready for a restart brought to you by them. Cross flags go up this time. Williams and Chapman row 1. Hine and Speeds row 2. Schatzer Vickery row 3. Trees McLaren row 4 back to green. As Tater gets away cleanly in front from Zach Chapman. High side not coming in fruition. Vickery currently in no man's land. Still looking for the spot on the line with Speeds. High side's a fast place to be. Top over with Schatzer who's going to get a big run. McLaren's got a run on the inside though. Looking on Schatzer for 6th position. Dan McLaren's got that working out for him as Schatzer goes bottom, contact in 4. Top 5 all on the high side. Everyone else is going low. Shreeves are going to battle with Blake Chapman, but the front 5 are pulled away, and all of them are using the high side from the rear end of Tater Williams. Zach Chapman on his rear end for sure. Top speed 89 miles an hour, riding that wall. The sparks barely flying here. Zach Chapman with a run to the inside though for the race lead. 10 laps to go. He's got a run though on the outside. That may have been a risky move from the 72. The Professor looking to go 2 for 3. He's got the best time in this race so far in terms of laps at a 12.38. Was quicker than Williams by 0.2 of a second last time out, but can he get the low side working? There is traffic ahead though. And that is Bob DeGood in the 7, and I don't think he'll be a factor. He'll just keep it on the inside. Top 2 have it. Jeff Barker, the next guy ahead. Then it appears to be Andy Piercefield. Coming to 6 laps to go here at Fairbury. What do you do here if you're John Hine? Do you think about when to put a slide job? And then if you're Tater Williams, do you try and play defense on the low line? A little bit risky because you don't want to open up that high side for the Professor. Barker gives way of the top 2. 5 laps to go. Piercefield now in the way. He gets to the bottom side. Top 2 race it out. Aldrich the next car to deal with. Sparks fly for the 182. Ripping the lip. 4 laps to go. Tater Williams looking for what would be his 2nd win of the season. 3 laps left. Williams, 5th in points coming on in. Hine with the send down to the inside. He can't slide up though. 2 laps to go. Hine still trying to see what that middle line got. Gets this a little bit risky though. Takes it back in line, down to a car length and a half. This time by. White flag is out, 1 to go. Will Tater Williams get it? If John Hine wants it, he's gonna have to come and get it. But were those moves on the low line? Was that the race? The answer is yes. Tater Williams goes defensive. second win of the season for Tater Williams. He takes it at Fairbury. Steven Spees comes in third and gets by Zach Chapman and is on the podium for his second race of the season with the Pro Lates. As William parks it in victory lane, we'll talk with your top three shortly. It's Williams followed by Hines, Spees, Zach Chapman, Vickery, Schatzer, McLaren, Shreves, Templeton, and Blake Chapman, the top 10. As the fireworks go up, everyone parks it in the front straightaway, or unless you didn't finish in the top three in the pits. Well, let's get to it. We'll begin by talking with our third place finisher in Steven Spees. Steven, that was a great run for you tonight, man, in your second race of the season. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I kind of got stuck there early. There wasn't much track to work with. You had to be on that wall tonight. And it's not my favorite place to be. I just tend to be too inconsistent. So I'm pretty thrilled with third. I didn't have anything for either of those guys in front of me, unfortunately.
Was it definitely tough as well, especially because there was pretty much one groove on the outside?
Yeah, there was. The fixed setup is pretty tight, so it's really hard to get the thing to turn in down low. You got to really throttle it up, use a little bit of wheel spin, or just completely park it. And either way, that's just not a recipe for success. So you got to be up there doing your best to kind of bounce off the wall and keep it straight. And, Tater and John are both evidently better than I am at that. But that's all right. Like I said, third place is good for me.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Shout outs to everybody that puts time and effort into the league. Always like to thank Cool Ray and Andy for all he does for the league, and the Gambler Motorsports team. We got a second, third, fourth. Would have liked to have one of us on the front row there taking the victory, but can't complain about second, third, and fourth.
Great job tonight, man.
Thank you.
Steven Spees, our third place finisher. Let's bring John Hine back in there. John, you tried the middle groove of the racetrack. Just what more did you need, though?
I needed a higher octane amount of fuel there. Tater did a great job tonight. He didn't really make any mistakes, and that's really what I needed. And sometimes you just gotta settle in there and take second, and then live to fight another day.
Absolutely. How tough was that race as a whole? Because no multi-groove passing, pretty much that we saw in the big block feature.
It was a lot tougher when I had Zach in front of me, because I was kind of having to hit the brake a little bit in the middle of the corner to not hit him. But once I got around him, it turned out Tater and I were pretty close on speed, so I could run it and use the throttle to turn the car, and it got a little bit easier to drive. But like I said, just nowhere really to go, and Tater's really good, and he just didn't make any mistakes.
Who do you want to give shout outs to again?
Yeah, I'd like to thank first of all, I'd like to thank you, Marty, for doing the broadcast, man. You do such a fantastic job. And then I'd like to thank VMR Wraps once again. The car I think looks really sharp. Go out to Facebook, find VMR, and Nick and the boys will set you up with a nice looking wrap there. And I'd like to thank Andy over at Cool Ray Heating and Plumbing, and I'll tell you, heating and cooling. And like I said, if you're in that area down there in Georgia somewhere, and you need a tune-up on your air conditioner, give them a call. A lot of places have same-day service, all that kind of good stuff. Also like to thank Brenna over at the cruise shop. Getting close to travel season here. She'll send you anywhere in the world you want to go. And I'd like to thank my Gambler teammates. A great group of guys. Have a lot of fun. We had a nice finish here. I think we got second, third, and fourth. So that good job there on that front. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife once again. Just kind of let me do double duty here tonight and having a lot of fun.
Great job tonight, man. I'll keep you in here, though.
Sure.
All right, let's go to your race winner. Talk with him in Cool Ray Victory Lane, and of course, that is Tater Williams. Tater, congratulations on the win. How does this one feel? Second of the season.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I've got 2 second places and a win on the week, so we drove from Missouri down to Illinois here last night and pulled out the late model, and it was pretty nice to get the win.
That's good to hear. Just talk us about pretty much the pass you made I don't even know who it was on. It was either on Andy or it was on Zach. I can't even recall. There was some good racing early on once you guys got by Andy.
It was on Zach. I think he got in there and got tight in the center. He tried to roll the center there, and I just threw it around on the bottom and ultimately just threw a slide job on him. I had him clear, so I slid him to the top of the next corner, and he was sliding me back there a couple laps, but it was a pretty fun race.
Absolutely, it was. Let me check here. Next week we've got on the schedule Lernerville. That's always a fun late model track. Just give us your expectations.
I just hope that I don't go off the racetrack and go flipping. That's what usually happens there. But I hope the slider line in the middle of 1 and 2 is there, but we'll see how it goes.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to tonight?
I got to thank Andy Piercefield over at Coolray, all my guys back at Chip Bangers Racing, Banging Sets by CBR Setup Shop, B&D Baits, Combs Cuts, and just all the guys that helped me back in the shop.
All right. Great job tonight. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys.
Tater Williams with the win tonight, celebrating in Coolray Victory Lane. Coolray's goal is to make sure that race tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. They're the official heating and cooling supply chain of the Atlanta Braves. Check them out online at coolray.com for more info. Here are the results here from tonight. We'll pop them up here on your screen for your information. Tater Williams, John Hines, Steven Spees, Zach Chapman, Nick Vickery, the top 12 drivers finishing on the lead lap. But John, this was a fun night tonight at Fairbury, and it's been a fun week. We've had a lot of races at coast to coast at this track.
Yeah, and I want to give a real quick shout out to all the drivers that ran this race tonight. Bull ring, tight confines. We had 2 cautions and a lot of really tight racing, a lot of contested racing, and to get 2 cautions, everybody should feel real good about that. That was impressive racing tonight.
Absolutely, it was. So we're going to sign off here for tonight. Again, show you your schedule here for the rest of the next 7 days. Tomorrow night, Friday Night Lights here at Fairbury. That's at 7 p.m. Monday is Monday Night Madness at the Eldora Speedway. That takes place at 8 p.m. Tuesday, Hometown Heroes at I-55 at 7 p.m. Wednesday, we're back at Eldora for the Vets and First Responders Night, 7 p.m. And then Thursday is Thursday Night Thunder at Lernerville, 7 p.m. start time. So that will do it for us on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, including Coolray, the Super Dirt Car Series, all the fine drivers and sponsors, and as well, our admins, Roger Craig and Preston Cranmer. On behalf of my broadcast partner tonight, John Hine, I'm Marty Sakala, Isaac Salas, John Hine, Tater Williams, your winners tonight at Fairbury. So long, everyone.